Good morning, treasure hunters. We are off to a late start this morning. We were up way too late last night, cramming for the test, reading a bunch of Forrest Fenn things, but we're excited. We're ready to go. It's actually our wedding anniversary today.
So I wonder if anyone else feels the same way that I do, like so unbelievably and remarkably confident in the place that you want to go look. And how did it feel when you felt that confidence, that air of confidence, and then you went to the place and it wasn't there?
I don't feel that confident about it. Like I was saying to you last night,
Montana is such a big place that.
But you have to convince me that that the starting point is where warm waters halt. I'm not super convinced, and he's said so many times that people don't dwell long enough on that first question, that first clue. It's our first time coming out. I really don't feel that prepared because I didn't do a whole lot of reading. I'm still not finished reading the book. So I'll be doing that on the drive down there. We have an hour and a half drive, I think. We're going to stop off at Walmart first, get some bear spray and some sunscreen.
Yeah, it turns out the place that we want to look is notorious for having grizzly bears in the area. So there's that.
Eric's more prepared than I.
Yeah, I feel pretty prepared, and I can, as I put each of the landmarks that I'm using to correspond with clues, I feel like I can convince not only myself but someone else that it's right. In case you're wondering and you don't come prepared, bear spray is available at the Walmart. It was $30, non-refundable.
I wonder if you come back and stay at the same place. Maybe we can ask them if they'll keep it for us.
Maybe. I have bear spray. That's the sad part. Freaking bears. And there's definitely gonna, there will definitely be a bear. Remember, boys and girls, black bears, I can take a punch. I could probably hold my own versus a black bear, but a grizzly bear will eat me. That will eat me.
And then use me to floss its teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, you can almost say that might be at least double in size.
I really hope that we don't see any bears.
Yeah. We're here at the ranger station in Gardner, and we're at the cusp of where we believe where warm waters halt to be, just on the edge of Yellowstone, right in Gardner. So it says that we are right here, and this is a kind of a map. If we say it's almost about a cubit, is 12 miles. So figure about from here to back to the Joe Brown put-in is about 12 miles, which is too far to walk, especially in the rain. However, there was some girl walking with a backpack though, so I don't know. But there, we did just pass Devil's Slide coming down. We came down from Bozeman, so we did pass Devil's Slide when on our way down here. It's up here. There's Devil's Slide right there, and some people suggest that's the home of Brown. I vehemently disagree because I believe that Brown is capitalized for a specific reason. So you could kind of make the claim that brown trout could be capitalized. Grizzly bear, I mean, you don't call grizzly bears brown bears. They're called grizzly bears. So that's kind of out. But the Joe Brown put-in below the home of Brown makes way more sense, and it's just the right distance to be too far to walk from where warm waters halt. I really wanted to, even though we passed it on the way in, I wanted to start at clue number 1 and not dismiss anything on our way up. So what I think we'd like to do is we're gonna go up to the Joe Brown put-in, and as you can see, all over this area are creeks, right? When it talks about no paddle up your creek, there are several creeks. The ones in particular that we want to try first happen to be roads. So this right here is Tom Miner Creek Road. And I think this one is like Crystal Creek Road and another one. So to me, that makes a lot of sense when we talk about no paddle up your creek, because you're going uphill on a creek road that follows the contour of a creek and eventually gets to the Tom Miner campground, leading into the Tom Miner Basin and the Gallatin Petrified Forest. So that's where we're starting. It's already past noon. I think this is the best map you could possibly have for finding the treasure. Where to buy a map.
Gosh,
So,
it's freezing.
visitor use maps can be purchased at the Yellowstone Forever bookstore, located on Park Street near the Roosevelt Arch.
I think that's worth doing. Stopping off here at the Yellowstone Forever bookstore so you can see about getting a map. Okay, so right here is the entrance to get into Yellowstone right there. So this is essentially the starting point where the warm waters have halted. They're all inside the park there.
Unfortunately, the map we saw at the Gallatin National Forest Park Ranger Center that's displayed out in front where they say you can buy maps at the Yellowstone Forever bookstore that we went to, it does not have that map that they displayed, which I believe is the perfect map because it's just enlarged upon the searching area that we want. Like, there's nowhere else online you can buy just a map of the Gallatin National Forest. It only comes in like an atlas with other maps. And there they had something similar to what we have in our atlas, but it wasn't any better. But if you had nothing, I mean, they had like a $14 map that has it on there, but it's not, I don't think it's even as detailed as what we have in our book. Kind of struck out, but at least we officially went to where the first clue starts, and now we can kind of get ourselves into the mind of a Fenn.
So driving in this direction, right up ahead of us there is the Devil's Slide, which a lot of people have speculated is the home of Brown. It is very prominent when you're driving up here.
But here's the thing. The Devil's Slide, granted we're not there yet, but we've gone about 4 miles from the entrance of the park.
Right.
So it'll be about 5 when we get up there.
So
to me, that's
too
not
close? I mean, that is quite a walk.
It's not
if you're
too.
walking.
It's not too far to walk, though.
But it's pretty far. Like, it doesn't take long in the car, but for an old man, that's too far to walk.
Well, what's a long ways
But
to walk?
I can see why people have speculated about this because, and I didn't realize that it was so close to the road. In all the other videos I've seen where people show photos of it and whatnot, it looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere. But here it's right near the road, really accessible, very prominent, and it almost seems like it's an arrow pointing down,
Yeah.
But looking up there, it's like, where would you hide?
Yeah. Now
Because
we're at about like
there's
4.5 miles now.
4.5 miles.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's probably about 5.
Do you think it's worth looking around there?
Well, it's certainly worth a speculation. Like, it's an absolutely prominent thing to see, and that's not like, you'd almost think that was man-made, but it's not.
The reason why I don't think that's it is because he capitalized Brown.
I think you're like, people are literally grasping at straws.
Unless like it's it's Brown, Devil's Slide. Devil is the name of a person, being, and maybe that's why he capitalized Brown as opposed to saying home of the devil. He's saying home of Brown. The devil's home is Brown. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah,
but you see how much you have to stretch to like trying to like fit it into the clue. When I think like, I mean, to me, he at least, I'm not saying he was a great linguist, but he at least took the time to study words and understand what they individually meant, exactly what they meant when he used them. And so, like, why would he just, this person who like claimed to care so much about being correct with the words that he used, why would he just capitalize a random word that was not supposed to be capitalized, just to like throw everyone off the scent? That doesn't make any sense at all. If that's the case, you just capitalize any other random words, not just that one.
Coming up next should be Joe Brown put in, because we've passed, is that road?
Yeah. It's interesting how along this road there are all these signs signifying where it's a good place to fish for brown trout.
Yeah.
And it was just like a little bit of, only a small section, right from about right there for like another 6 or 7 miles. We saw like maybe 10 of those signs.
Yeah.
Where it was like a good place to. What's that?
How many miles have we gone?
We've gone a little bit over 11.
Oh, okay. So it would have been like right back there.
Well, it could be.
Any
Joe
more?
Brown, trailhead. Let's see what they got.
Okay, so just a tiny little parking area. Could be where Forrest Fenn parked.
Could be. Seriously, it could be.
Trailhead.
Bear country. Alright, let's get out. So here we are. This is the Gallatin National Forest trailhead for Joe Brown. Now, if this is the fishing access that Joe Brown put in, it's a little, I'm not really sure how this connects because the Yellowstone River is on the other side, right down there. So it's on the complete other side of this road. You can kind of see right below that. On the other side of the mountain, so we drove this way north from Gardner. On the other side of that ridge is about, what did we decide, about 4 miles away is Devil's Slide. Potentially really close to where the home of Brown is. At least Joe Brown's name is here, but it doesn't say anything about put in or an access point for him. It does actually show it that right there is a fishing access point right there. So coming in from there, and this is about 12 miles away from where warm waters halt.
Okay, so just over the other side of the road is where we were at the Joe Brown trailhead, and then over here is the Yankee Jim river access, so the Yankee Jim put in. So perhaps this is below Brown, which is on the other side of the street, and then below it on the other side is the Yankee Jim river access.
Where you would put in your boat.
I mean, that's a put in right there.
That's definitely getting your boat in the water.
Yeah.
So now the question lies in this. Is this where we get out of the car? Is this where he would have got out of his car? You know?
Well, it's at this point in the poem that then he says, and now at this point, it's no place for the meek, which to me makes it sound like, okay, this is now where you get out of your car and you're going on foot.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like I never really perceived it, because you look around, it's not, there's no way to get across the river. If it was just a hike up there, why wouldn't we just park in Joe Brown's parking lot?
Right.
Why would we go up a little bit further? Like, what does this represent, being near this water? Are we walking along the water?
I don't know how he got so far so quickly. Okay, so just got back in the car. Definitely cold. We put on extra clothes before we went out because it is very cold right now. So we went down along the creek. I walked along there for a while. Eric walked along the creek up on top of the bank, see what we could see.
So we traversed around the Yankee Jim put in just across the road from the Joe Brown trailhead. So I don't know whose put in it is, but we walked around quite a bit, and you know, my wife taught me something that helped me to recognize a part of the poem. Now it's not here, by the way. We're hoping that maybe this was the parking lot that everyone seemed to be 200 or 300 feet away from, and he was shocked that no one else was around when he was hiding it. When it talks about the blaze, and he said in very certain terms, it is not a human trail. And so like, well, if it's not a human trail, how the heck are you going to know that you're on the trail? And it just makes so much sense that whether you're actually in the water in a boat or following alongside on the riverbed or a creek bed or even just walking through a creek, that is the trail, an unmistakable way to know for certain that you were on the trail. If I was at the end of Happy Creek and I said, hey, follow the trail, you would know, to the end of Happy Creek, you would know exactly how to get there without a map. You just follow the water and you get right to me. We were hoping that we walk around along the creek bed and maybe we'd see something to help us to signify to look quickly down. It's not here, but it was certainly worth checking out because, I mean, it could have been that easy, just right under our nose. A place that an 80-year-old man could have walked for 15 or 20 minutes and placed very easily without getting himself hurt. But the quest continues. So we're going to drive up a little bit north to Tom Miner Creek Road and head nigh, which being left, head down that road to the Tom Miner campground. And from there, we're going to follow that creek down.